So for our next questions, there's been a lot of feedback and questions about, what are the deadlines for deliverables? What happens if we miss one? What's going to happen to our pod? Can you answer that a little bit more?
Yeah. So I would say based on the feedback, we're going to have the deliverables deadline be due the Friday at midnight after the session ends. So each session is 2 weeks. All of them end on a Friday. And so the deadline for the deliverable will be the Friday after that at midnight. So 1 week into the next session. This will not be the case for session 1 as the deadlines have already passed. But we want to reiterate that the urged deliverables are a critical component of generating change within our institutions and potentially in all of geoscience. So I would say please plan to get these deliverables done. And what's going to happen moving forward is that the pods who miss 2 deliverables will not be provided future access to the interview links or the website. And unfortunately, we'll have to remove those pods also from the website if you miss more than 2 deliverables. Because again, I want to reiterate that this is not an education program only. This is not a program to teach only. There needs to be action. Each pod needs to create deliverables and create substantial deliverables that we can use to then create policies at our institution and put resources behind those policies. And so we will have all our material online. There is a resources page for lots of reading. And so those people who are interested in reading about some of these things, we invite them to use our resource pages. We invite those groups to use Google Scholar and find resources because they're all freely available online, and education is free for everybody online. So again, it's important to get the deliverables done. This is what it's about. It's about action. It's about getting the deliverables done. And so the question might be, how do you get them done with a specific amount of time? When I imagine urge, what I think about is, if I had a pod that I was leading, what I would do is for each week or each session, I'd have 2 to 3 people responsible for drafting the deliverables ahead of time, right? So you draft the deliverables ahead of time, bring it to the pod meetings, present it to pod members, and then based on the papers and the interview and personal experience, pod members also suggest edits to a drafted pod deliverable. And so that would happen in the second week of the session. And so based on those edits that people agree on, then the 2 to 3 people can make those edits within the next week and submit the deliverable by the end of the week after when the deliverable is due. And then you can rotate those 2 to 3 people with time. We have 8 sessions, and so keep rotating people in and out of those responsibilities. And I think that's one way to get the deliverables drafted well. One thing that we're going to do on the website is allow for discussions of deliverables. And we just hired somebody to work on keeping the website up to date because it's a lot. And so we'll be able to put the deliverables online. We'll put a way for people to discuss things online on the URGE webpage, discuss deliverables online. And so you want to make these your best drafts, but and you want to submit them. My dream is that you'd have deliverables online, and then URGE ends in May, and then you have an entire summer and then the fall. So what my dream is that in the summer, the URGE team will put up summaries of the deliverables or highlight deliverables that we think are extremely well done or important. I think in the summer, then you could have focus groups of, again, 2 to 3 people from your pod responsible for each policy, responsible for improving the policy. And you can go through all the policies of all the institutions and figure, oh, this one's very good for us. This one's not good for us. Oh, I like this idea. We could go through the urge summary of deliverables or highlights of deliverables and use that and use the conversations to improve your deliverables that you then present to your institutional leadership for discussions in, like over 3 meetings or so in the fall, to discuss how you're going to keep yourselves accountable to those, how you're going to, enact those deliverables, put resources beyond those deliverables. And then urge plans to do GSA and AGU where everybody can meet and then discuss what's happened and how the experience has been, what's been working, what hasn't been working. So that's my ultimate dream for how this works. But again, it takes work and it takes putting in the time to really look at the deliverables and spend time drafting them and making sure that we get them on time. So I want to reiterate, we need to do the policies, we need to do the deliverables. And for those who are interested in education only, this is unfortunately not the program for you.